translated Coca-Cola as 可口可乐, tadpoles chewing bags. And Pepsi, the slogan was translated too literally and ends up like Pepsi brings your ancestor back from the grave. And Subway faced a different issue. When they tried to enter Chinese market, people didn't even know what a Subway was. How can they translate it and become famous? Same brand, different meaning. Some global brands completely changed the meaning when they entered China, and they achieved big success. Because entering a new market isn't about the language, it's about culture, habit, economics, and how people make sense of the world. Sometimes metaphors don't land. A new story needs to be created. Let's see some fun stories. Here comes Coca-Cola. Back in 1920s, Coca-Cola was becoming popular all over the world. The company wants to sell the drink in China, but there is a big problem. The name Coca-Cola did not exist in Chinese. At that time, the company had not yet created an official Chinese translation. So local shopkeepers tried to translate the sound of Coca-Cola into characters. But they didn't choose the characters carefully. A very strange name appeared. In some small shops, the drink was written as 可口可乐. The name sounded a little like Coca-Cola, but the meaning was very strange. It literally means tadpoles chewing bags. Imagine walking in a shop and seeing a bottle of soda called tadpoles chewing bags. It doesn't sound delicious at all. When Coca-Cola company discovered these strange translations, they realized they need to adopt a better Chinese name. So they searched carefully for Chinese characters that would sound similar to Coca-Cola and had a pleasant meaning resonate to brand itself and the Chinese consumers. Finally, they chose 可口可乐. Well, this name was perfect and later became a classic example of brand localizations. 可口 means tasty, delicious, and 可乐 means joyful, happy. So the whole name suggests tasty and joyful. It sounded close to the original name and also had a very positive meaning. It is one of the best translations in the world. It keeps the sounds of Coca-Cola, come with the mood of Coca-Cola, also feeds Chinese consumers beautifully. Many marketing experts still use this example even it's from 100 years ago. Well, if Coca-Cola have this famous translation blunder, but Pepsi have an even funnier one. In the 1960s, Pepsi used the slogan, "Come alive, you are the Pepsi generation." This message was meant to be energetic, youth, and excitement. But according to a well-known marketing story, the slogan was once translated too literally into Chinese and ended up something like, "Pepsi brings your ancestor back from the grave." Why? Because the phrase "come alive" can be very weird translated word for word, a very cringe image for soft drink. Whether the story is entirely true or not, it highlights an important lesson. Literal translation can easily go very wrong. Eventually, Pepsi adopted the Chinese name 百事可乐. The name is actually very smart. 百事 literally means 100 of things, but in Chinese, it often implies everything, all things in life. And 可乐, just like Coca-Cola, means joyful or pleasant. So 百事可乐 suggests something like joyful in everything, happiness in all things. At the same time, the pronunciation of 百事 echoes the sounds of Pepsi. Today, 百事可乐 Pepsi Cola is widely seen as another successful example of brand localization. The goal is not to translate the word exactly, but to create a name that sounds right, feels right to the brand, that feels right in the culture. That is what a good localization does. Then, next one, there is Subway, another beautiful example who face a very different problem. When Subway entered China in 1995, the country was still in the early stage of urbanization. Outside a few cities like Beijing or Shanghai, most people have never seen a subway system. So when the translator first looked at the brand name Subway, they were stuck. If the brand had been literally translated into Subway or Metro or Subway sandwich shop, it would easily sound strange, confusing, clunky. Consumer might think the brand is related to transportation, or they may not even have an idea what it is. So the translators need to find a name that felt natural to Chinese customers. Another very important difference is the food culture. In the United States, Subway is known for quick, convenient meals, urban lifestyle. People often buy sandwiches because they're fast. But in China at that time, convenience alone was not enough. Especially in the 1990s when material goods and food choices were not as abundant as of today in China. People at that time cared little about speed. Convenience was not a strong selling point. People cared very directly about whether the food feels satisfying, flavorful, and worth eating. In other words, it's not about is it fast, but more about is it tasty? Does it feel substantial? So the Chinese name needs to emphasize the taste and richness, not just speed. Eventually, the brand adopted the Chinese name, 赛百味. That sounds similar, 赛百味 and Subway. The meaning was very different from the Chinese word, but the choice was really clever. Let's see. 赛 means to compass, to compete. 百 means 100, and 味 means flavors or taste. Together, the name suggests something like hundreds of flavors competing in deliciousness. It highlights the variety and taste, especially what Chinese customers care about. At the same time, the pronunciation of 赛百味 echoes the rhythm of Subway. It perfectly fits the customer's need in 1990s and the concept of customizable sandwiches. There are so many flavors there. They're all competing to be a favorite. It's about understanding the culture, lifestyle, economics, and what people value. The best translation is not the literal one, but the one that speaks to people's taste, habits, and imagination. And this is really the point. Brand localization is not about translating languages, it's about translating meaning. This is a key thing to fix the difference between tadpoles chewing bags and tasty and joyful. Coca-cola, 可口可乐. One copy the sound and another translate the feeling. So technically, is this translation? Yes, but it's more than that. It's localization. And good localization doesn't just translate word, it translates culture. Okay, what is the most interesting localization you come across? Comment down in the comments and share it with us. And if there is a brand you're curious about or a name you want me to break down, leave it below and I can explore it for you and may cover it in a future video. If your brands want to connect with Chinese audience, whether in mainland China or overseas Chinese, my studio and I have turned translation into localization, including audio and video work as well. Feel free to check in the description. Thank you for watching. In the next episode, we will explore a few more surprising localizations. Please like and subscribe. I will see you again soon.